Formosa Prosonic Industries, or FPI for short, has been a company that we've followed for quite a bit. It's known to be A, Taiwanese, which means B, they are great dividend payers. Too busy to find stock ideas? Check out FIRL Pro to shortcut your research time and effort by 90%. 10% off link in the comments and description. Right now, dividend yield is 10%, almost 11% in fact. And some of you might be wondering, hey, isn't this like an obvious buy? Well, the reason it's there right now is because over the past, starting of this year, from this year, it's down nearly 40%, which is why you see the dividend yield go up so much. Historically, they are at 6 to 8%, somewhere there. Yeah. So it drops 40%. You know, that's how the dividend yield is going to be affected. So the big question is always, will the dividend payout be at the same level? And in order for the dividend payout to be at the same level, the business needs to remain untouched. In other words, business as usual. If that is the case, then yes, it is extremely attractive today. However, as you can see, the 5-year price chart now is at slightly under 30%, and that is it's not so good, right? And why is it's not so good? Why is it struggling? Well, this video we're going to share with you.
Yep. So this is the not so good part. I mean, you can look at the numbers already. The latest few quarters, they actually reported a big drop actually in terms of their profit and also their revenue. And if you look at just the first quarter for financial 2025, and if you analyze it, right, it's actually going back to pre-pandemic times, which is around 40 million. Assuming they make the similar amount of profit. And one of our research team also attended the AGM. So so if you guys are inside FIRL Pro, right, you get these management notes straight away, fresh out of the oven, right after they attend the AGM. And when he edit his notes, then we post it up over there. So these are the few key takeaways inside the AGM. So number one is the management was very honest. He said that the business was slow for 2025. So that's why you can see obviously the numbers are pretty bad. And then the second one is probably is due to competition. So China and Vietnam, they are like the king of mass manufacturing and a low cost. So right now, FPI, which is where they have customers like Sonos and also I cannot remember one of the other one is who already, but basically those are the music and audio speaker kind of manufacturers. They are kind of facing some sort of in terms of losing market share to these two countries. Obviously because of cheaper, but one good thing about Sonos is that their brand name is still pretty strong among these musicians. So that's the only thing that is actually keeping them alive. But we don't know whether China and Vietnam's quality will catch up or not in terms of Sonos. But we shall see in the near future. So far, it's because of all of these low-cost thing that is implemented by these two countries that they are losing market share. Okay, so the other one is, Sony and Roland. So yeah, Sony and Roland, these are the two customers that FBI help serve in terms of doing whether design or maybe help them to assemble their stuff. And it's actually very technical when the CEO or the managing director was actually explaining their business to the people who attended the AGM. So every single materials that they source, right, it must be at the utmost good quality. So for instance, the wood that they assemble for, let's say, maybe a guitar or something like that, right? If you put a different type of wood quality, the sound will be different. Yeah, so it needs to be quite good. And also you need, I would say it's skilled labor, but semi-skilled labor. Obviously, they have the manual that they will teach you on how to do that. And it needs to be assembled at the right place and also right material and all of this stuff. So this is one of the few nitty-gritty or maybe even technical stuff about FPI, which is that they are very, I'll say, proven and also specialized in terms of helping Sony and Roland to assemble their products. So that is one good thing about FPI, and there's also a reason why there is no competitors in this space. Yeah, and only FPI can do that. And so far also the management has been pretty much very honest and have a lot of integrity in running the business. He's very honest that the business is not doing well.
Yep.
And
it's always a good sign.
Yeah.
Maybe not for the business, but at least it's in safe hand. And of course, when you pay so much dividends so often.
Yeah, correct. That tells you already the character of this CEO already. But sadly, still No, there's still angry shareholders who attended this AGM, which is quite funny lah. I mean, they are trying to say like why share price drop or whatsoever, and yeah, I mean there was kind of like a not so happy shareholders that attended the AGM, and the mood also is very very gloomy during that day. Now the fourth one is actually telling you why the share price actually tanked more than 40%. So the main problem is actually this. So you see, this Winstron is the 27% major shareholder in FPI, and then also you have the the CEO, the managing director, management, and also some other individual investors. So yeah, this guy Winstron, they are actually gonna be selling off their stake. Now we don't know how much stake they will be selling. From our research team, if I can recall, most likely is everything, 27%. But we don't know whether they are going to be selling it in the open market or is it going to be the closed
DBT,
market?
yep.
Yeah, DBT, correct. So it's going to be like a direct business transaction with other investors. So this one we still have no idea. That's why the market has been very, very uncertain about this Winstron. But yeah, so I think some of you guys who will be watching this video will be asking, hey, isn't Winstron a customer of FPI, right? Well, from our special insights, or at least from the CEO, we know that actually Winstrong didn't give them any business in favor or like given them any preferential treatment. So FPI have to still bid for contract. They have to still like win the contract.
Open tender.
Yes, open tender. What is it? Open tender, or they have to like basically knock on Winstron's door and to get business from them actually. So why Winstron invested so much, like 27% in this company, is because they just like FPI. Yeah, they see like FPI has a good business prospect. The management seems good, and then they also paid a lot of dividends. That's why they are a major shareholder. And right now, they are just basically cashing out only. Maybe because they need money for their own business, or maybe it is something else we don't know.
But they were definitely gotten a good return over the years.
Yes,
already.
definitely. Their own cost of average cost for per share is definitely going to be very low, and plus the dividends. So they already made their backs already. They made a lot of money, and yeah. So this is just a surprising fact for you guys. They are a passive investor. They are not just they are not like a customer to FPI. So if you want to know more information about the FPI AGM, you can read it in the FIRL Pro program. So if you guys who are FIRL Pro user, make sure to go and read it about it. There's a lot of like good insights inside there. But for those of you guys who are non-FIRL Pro, you can get a 10% discount off using the link in the description or comments below. Just key in the coupon code 10% off and you get it. So just to like shout out a few like key points is they say that speaker making is very, very technical. So they don't just make certain components of speakers, but everything that makes a speaker.
Even the design.
Yes, correct. So yeah, there's actually more information. It's quite a lengthy one. So if you want to get all of these insights, is inside the FIRL Pro program. Okay, so another key thing which is very important for FPI is that they are a dividend distributor. It's actually
Very
one
generous,
of yes, correct. They're very generous. They're also one of the stocks that dividend lovers love the most.
Yeah. So it means you can look at the number, right? So this is 7 cents, right? So
Yes.
I'm not sure whether the share count changed, but at least starting from 2016 all the way until today, it's a tripling, right,
Yes.
of dividend. So tripling over, let's call it 10 years, that is a double-digit growth, right? In
Yes,
dividend.
your CAGR, if let's say you invested this company, it's definitely going to be more than 10%, definitely, plus dividends, right? So the key thing is that whether this dividend number will start to drop. Well, 2024 it already dropped 18 cents. So we don't know whether 2025 would they still drop or not. I mean, bear in mind that the numbers right now is seemingly going to be mimicking 2019. But the good thing is that they have a lot of cash on hand. So you can see that the number of cash they have right now is actually, I think currently is more than their market cap. So if they plan to like maintain their dividend payout, which is around like 58 million, maybe they need to use their cash reserve to pay out already. Yeah. Or if let's say they don't want, then maybe the dividend payout will be lesser and lesser. Yeah. Because if you look at the previous last few years, right, the free cash flow also has been shrinking a lot. So we don't know whether this free cash flow will start to become like 40 million or maybe even 80 million or maybe even zero free cash flow, right, in the future. So yeah, this time you may want to watch out how are they going to be paying out their dividends, whether is it from their cash flow or whether is it from cash. Our guess is most likely is going to be coming from cash if let's say they want to maintain the payout.
The good part is that they probably don't have to borrow.
Yes, that's the best part.
But if you take from your cash, that's also not always sustainable.
Mm.
Although I would say the cash build up over the years probably allows for,
Such
bad years.
things. Yes. Correct.
So I wouldn't be too unhappy, right,
Mm.
if they were using their cash.
Yeah, at
but
least they are
if
not.
they do it for
Yeah.
many years, then it's a problem.
Correct. At least they are not hoarding cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can actually use the cash to give out. Okay, so the final thoughts over here is that we know this management is pretty decent. Even after attending the AGM, the CEO would think that he's a brilliant guy.
Yeah, and I would say we can judge someone's character and all that, but if you have been not only a dividend payer, not only a consistent dividend payer, but also a growing consistent dividend payer until 2024, you deserve a pat on the back, because someone can say all the right things, and at the end of the day, the actions speak louder than the words. And when you pay dividends, we know for sure you got minority shareholders' interests at heart. However, it doesn't matter how good a management is, the business will always be more important than the management itself. What do I mean is, there's a Warren Buffett quote, right? He says that you want to buy a business where even a donkey can run it, right? It doesn't mean that management is a donkey, but if you had to pick a stock to invest in, aim for the company that would be good even if there was a bad CEO. Because eventually, as Peter Lynch said, someone bad will be there.
Yeah.
Right? So with up until recently, FPI was in a very good business with fantastic management. That's why you see the returns are fantastic, the dividends are fantastic. However, now that the business is facing stiffer competition and things like that, we should expect lesser free cash flow, which is going to impact dividends, right?
Yeah.
So right now at 10% yield, we don't know whether they can maintain now, or rather we know they can maintain, but we don't know whether they will maintain. If they choose not to tap into their cash balance, then we can expect the dividends to drop, unless they are willing to pay higher dividend payout. What's their payout ratio right now? Do you remember? Is it 100% already?
Oh, this one I can't remember.
Yeah. So, anyways, we know if they don't tap into their cash, the chances of them hitting that amount.
Yeah, so if you look at just free cash flow, right now it is close to about 80% to 90%. Yeah.
So historically, my vision is correct. They're about 30 to 40%, call it half. But now they're already at close to
the free cash flow
100% payout. So they would have to pay more through the bank balance. So we know they can. Now whether they will or not is the question mark. And therefore the risk of dividends falling is probably at the highest in its entire history. But we will see. This is not something we can answer straight away. But we know they can.
Yep. And last but not least, it is Winstone. We still don't know how are they going to sell their big stake. And also it's very interesting to see that they are announcing that they're going to be disposing. Because usually big shareholders, they won't simply disclose this to the public. But yeah, the fact that they disclose it is pretty interesting and funny. Yeah. So yeah, that's about it for today's video.
So if you want to know a lot more details about the company, and more importantly, the speed of knowing this, right? This information was given to our community members in FIRL Pro. Some of them months before, some of them maybe a few weeks before. If you want to get this sort of access to such information, do consider hopping on our FIRL Pro community, where it's designed to shortcut your research journey with a whole bunch of stuff, including people you can talk to, experts, write-ups, so that you can learn about the company ASAP. And then, of course, a portfolio for you to reference and to see how you can build your own personal portfolio. What are some tips and tricks you can borrow? And if you want to get a taste, you can see what we offer in the free sample link in the comments or description. And with that, guys, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.